Hello everybody, we've got a new post from the Old School RuneScape team. This is Permanent Free-to-Play, the details. So, first of all, Permanent Free-to-Play. Earlier today, at 10 in the morning, they closed the Permanent Free-to-Play and Membership Bonds poll. Permanent Free-to-Play and Membership Bonds have passed comfortably with 85.9% approval, which to me is quite sad, knowing that 85.9% have approved Membership Bonds. However, I'm hoping that the majority of those players just wanted Permanent Free-to-Play. I know I certainly did, I really didn't want Bonds. As mentioned in the previous news post, Permanent Free-to-Play will be open on Thursday the 19th of February. The release of Membership Bonds will follow this at some point in March. So, Free-to-Play restrictions. They mentioned adding some restrictions to Free-to-Play once it's released permanently in order to cut down on the number of bots farming Free-to-Play resources. Since the initial Free-to-Play proposal, they've refined some of these restrictions to make sure that legitimate players get the most out of their experience of Free-to-Play. So let's have a look at some of these restrictions. The first one, new account restrictions. For the first 24 hours of in-game time on a newly made free-to-play account, players will not be able to trade items off their account. They can still receive items, but they cannot trade their items away. This restriction will also apply outside of trading to prevent other methods of transferring items. For example, if the player drops an item manually, the item is visible only to them. It does not become visible to other players. If the player dies to a PKer, their dropped items vanish and cannot be retrieved by anyone. The player cannot add items to the trade offer or dual offer. When the trade screen opens, a message on screen will tell the player how long it will be until they can offer items. Their trading partner will see a similar message. So that's an interesting restriction. Having to wait 24 hours before you can really get any items off your account is quite a long time. So I'm wondering how the free-to-play players will be able to get a lot of their money when they first start playing. Probably through shops. Also, not dropping the items on the floor in the wilderness is going to probably annoy quite a lot of people because a lot of the old school community is seeded into PKing. Having this limit in place will give them the ability to catch bots before they're ever able to get resources off their accounts, while only preventing players from trading in the period of game time where they're least likely to do so. However, if you've ever been a member, this restriction will not apply to you. Next, the dual arena limits. To accompany the above limits on trade, they'll also be adding some restrictions to the dual arena on free-to-play worlds. The only item that can be staked is coins, and no more than 1 million coins may be staked. Which is interesting because the dual arena was members for a long time. In fact, it just managed to become free-to-play at the end of 2007. So I'm kind of questioning, should it be free-to-play, should it not? Also, having a limit on the coins in free-to-play, I'm a bit unsure of, but I just learned that RS3 has a limit of about 40,000 coins. So having 1 million coins is, yeah, it's a limit, but it's quite a nice limit. Next, the chat restrictions. They'll also be making some changes that allow them to better detect and silence spam bosses. Players found to be flooding the public chat channel and not using the auto chat will be dealt with far more quickly and will be temporarily muted in no time. This will apply in both members and free-to-play, helping clean up the streets of Lumbridge for new players. To me, I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. I'm slightly surprised that the way they're talking is making it sound like they're not doing that right now. And really, they should be doing it. Next, changes to these restrictions. They're going to be carefully monitoring the impact that these restrictions have over the release of Permanent Free-to-Play, while they want to do it in a way that allows new players to get the most out of Old School. As they get feedback and data from the release of Permanent Free-to-Play, they'll make the appropriate tweaks to these restrictions to make sure that they are fitting for the game. Next, the other tweaks. The return of U-logs and lobsters. With these restrictions in place, they'll be able to make chopping U-logs and fishing lobsters available to free-to-play players once again. Increased quantities of low-level monsters. As some of us know from visiting free-to-play worlds, low-level monsters can get populated fast. This is due to the number of bots, and with the release of Permanent Free-to-Play, they expect this to extend to a larger number of players passing through as well. In an effort to make sure new players have monsters to kill so they can progress, and to help disperse the bots and make them easier to detect, they'll be increasing the number of low-level monsters in and around Lumbridge and other starting areas of the game. This will make sure that anyone who is just getting started in Old School will have a variety of different training spots to use and plenty of monsters wherever they choose to level up. It'd be interesting if they actually increase the quantities of those low level monsters on member worlds, and it'd be interesting to see which monsters they actually increase. I'm assuming perhaps the goblins, spiders, chickens and cows around Lumbridge. Next, live streams, videos and events. To celebrate the long-awaited release of Free-to-Play, they'll be holding and releasing a number of Free-to-Play specific livestream events and videos. We'll have many opportunities to get involved in some free-to-play fun alongside the rest of the Old School community. If you want to keep up to date and watch those live streams and videos, make sure you subscribe to the Old School RuneScape YouTube channel. Click here for a link on that. And make sure you subscribe to the RuneScape Twitch.tv channel. That's twitch.tv/RuneScape. Finally, we've got to spread the word. RuneScape has forever been a game built on word of mouth and friends telling friends about this awesome online game they play. Even in 2015, word of mouth is one of the most effective tools at their disposal to get the word about old school out there. The release of Permanent Free to Play is an excellent opportunity for us to get our old scaping buddies to get a taste of what they're missing out on. So they're going to be doing all they can to spread the word and hope that we will join them. If you want to discuss this update, please go on the forums or in my comments below. And if you want to spread the word of old school getting free to play, please like and share. And if you want to keep up to date with the old school RuneScape updates, dev blogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.